Assalamualaikum students, hope you're doing good. We have already started unit 6, which is work and energy. Today we will discuss about the problem 6.9 and 6.10, and we revise the two topics, power and efficiency, in this lecture. So we are going to start 6.9, and 6.9 is calculate the power of pump which can lift 200 kg of water through a height of 6 meter in 10 seconds. So we have to find out the power, and so we write over here power, which is represented by P, and that is we have to find out of a pump which can lift 200 kg of water. So it's mean the mass of water is given to us, that is m mass is equals to small m, and which is equal to 200 kg of a water through a height of 6 meter. So the height at which the water is placed is about 6 meter, and it is represented by small h. And the time that is taken to do this task is about 10 seconds. So time will be equal to small t, and that is 10 seconds. What we have to do, we have to find out the power. All of you know that power is equals to work over time. Now in if we see the data, the work is not given to us, right? So what we have to do, we have to use the formula of work is equals to force into distance, but here the distance is in the form of height, so we write F dot h. And also we can use this F as a W, right? Because when we use the height, weight is involved. So you can also say that F is equals to W, or you can write as W dot H. So you know that W is equals to mg, and height will be as it is, and this is the time. Now you see in the data, the mass is given to you, height is given to you, and time is known to you, and g is always a constant. So it's very easy to find out the power now. So just substitute the value. M is 200 kg, value of g is always constant, which is equal to 10 meter per second square, height is 6 meter, and time is 10 seconds. So just calculate the value with the help of a calculator, and you will get the answer of power in 1200 watt. And watt is the unit of power. So the next problem is problem 6.10. An electric motor of 1 horsepower is used to run water pump. The water pump takes 10 minutes to fill in an overhead tank. The tank has a capacity of 800 liters and height of 15 meter. Find the actual work done by the electric motor to fill the tank. Also find the efficiency of the system. The density of the water is given to us, that is equals to 1000 kg meter per meter cube, and mass of 1 liter water is given to us, that is 1 kg. So what we have to do, we have to find out the work done and the power. So first of all, the formula for work done is very easy. First of all, we have to write the data. The power is given to us in a horsepower unit. First of all, I will tell those who don't know what is power. Power is a rate of doing work with respect to time, and the unit for power is watt. But sometimes we use a larger unit for power, and one of the larger unit of power is horsepower, and horsepower is always equal to 746 watt. This value we have to memorize. So this is given to us, and the time is also given to us, that is equal to 10 minutes. And you know that we measure the time whenever we calculate any problems, we use the time in seconds. So all of you know that in 1 minute we have 60 seconds, so we have to multiply 10 with 60 seconds to get the answer in seconds. So when we multiply 10 with 60 seconds, we will get the answer 600 seconds. Now the time is also in second. Now the capacity of volume that is given over here is 800 liter. It's mean this is basically the volume of water, right? Because liter is also the unit of volume, right? We measure the water in volume as liter, centimeter cube, or meter cube, right? So the capacity of water is equals to volume, which we have to represent by V, and that is equal to 800 liters. Now the height is also given over here, that is equal to 15 meter. In this area, in below part, the density of water is also known, that is equal to 1000 kg per meter cube. All of you know that density is basically the mass per unit volume, right? And the mass of 1 liter water is equal to 1 kg. That is also given in the problem. Now we have to find out the work done and the efficiency. First of all of you know that what is the formula for work. But you see in the data, the force is not given to us. Distance is given, sorry, distance in the form of height is known to us, but force is not given to us. But you see that the power and time, they are also known. So if you know the formula of power, which is equals to P is equals to W by T, and if you just take T on the other side, you can also calculate the work done from this formula. So if you take T on the left hand side, you will get W is equals to P multiplied by T, and just substitute the value of P and T that are given in the given data. So W is equals to P is 746 watt and time is 600 second. If you calculate this, you will get the answer 4,476 joules. This is the answer for work done. So the second part is that we have to calculate the efficiency. First of all, those who don't know what is efficiency, I will clear the concept that efficiency of a system is the ratio of required form of energy obtained from a system as output to the total energy given it to as input. Means if there's any machine, we are giving input to that machine to perform some work, and we are getting some out from that machine, what the task we have given to the machine. So basically the output ratio of energy that we are getting from the machine divided by total input of energy that we are getting to the machine is known as the efficiency. It is a ratio of output energy divided by input energy, or sometimes we can say that it is the ratio of output work done by total input energy that is given to a body. So again, you know that here the work done is basically an input in this case, that is that we have calculated in first part, that is equals to 4,476 joules, and the output is basically in the form of mechanical energy, because that water is stored at some height and it's possess potential energy. So the mass of 1 liter of water is about 1 kg that is given to us. Then if there are 800 liters that are given in the problem, it means if 1 liter is equal to 1 kg, if there are 8 liters, it means we multiply 800 with 1 kg and we will get 800 kg. So this is the mass for 800 liters, right? Now the second thing is that we have to calculate the output, which is equals to potential energy. So the formula for potential energy is mgh. So this is m, g and h. M is 800 kg, 10 g is 10 meter per second square, and h is 15 meter. So just calculate this value, you will get potential energy that is equals to 12 um, 120,000 joule, and which is equal to the output, right? Now we have to find out the efficiency. The formula of efficiency is equals to output energy divided by input energy multiplied by 100. The output is 120,000 divided by 4,476 multiplied by 100. And if you want to calculate the efficiency, just multiply with 100, you will get the answer 26.8%. So this is the efficiency of the machine in this case. Now we are going to revise the topic efficiency. What is efficiency? If you see the statement written over here, efficiency of a system is a ratio of required form of energy obtained from a system as an output to the total energy given to it as an input. So class, if you see, take an example of a human body. Human body is also like a machine. So how human machine is working? We are getting food as an input, and as an output we are performing a work, because when we get the input we get the energy in our body, and with the help of this energy the human body is able to perform a work. This is the general example. So similarly, in this way a machine works. So if we want to check the how the machine is performing its task, we have to find out its efficiency, and it's dependent how much input we are giving to the machine, and how, and in the result how much output we are getting from that machine is basically tell us about in the form of efficiency. So there are a lot of regarding this are like if you see the example of electric motors, they are used to pump the water, to blow the air, and to wash the clothes. So these are the examples for we can also check the efficiency of these electric machines. So if we see that how machine which machine is a good one, right? So what we do, we have to give it, it will tell us about its output. Means if we see the machine is performing a well task, mean it will be shown in the result, right, in the output. So we can say that this machine it has a good efficiency. And if you want to calculate it with the help of a mathematical formula, we can just use the formula: efficiency is equals to required form of output divided by total input energy. And with efficiency we also calculate the percentage efficiency. With percentage efficiency we just have to multiply the formula with the 100. So uh, if you see the example of ideal system is that system, it will get the same output energy that is equal to the input energy. Means if the system has 100% efficiency, we can say that the system is an ideal system. But in real case it will not happen. People, they have tried tried and they do a lot of work on it, but no machine can exist that can be 100% efficient. Because in machines, when the work is when the machine is performing any task or any work, obviously they will meet some energy losses. Some losses are due to frictions, right? And some like other you can say that losses are can be heat and noises. Because if you see the machine the clothes they are just cleaning in the washing machine, what happened, they're just moving, and when the things they are moving together, they are rubbing together, they are producing a friction. They're moving with the help of friction, and also they are producing a heat, because when something is rubbed, the heat is produced. So these are the losses. If we like I say that if I give the electric machine the input as a 90%, 90 joule, I just give the input of any machine, and I will getting the output as a 70 joule. So where will be the 20 joule? It This 20 joule basically consumed during the energy losses. That can be friction, that can be noise, that can be a sound. All right. So this is example 6.5 that is given in your book. A cyclist does 12 joule of useful work while pedaling his bike from every 100 joules of food energy which he takes. What is the efficiency? So from the first part, when it's mentioned over here that food energy which he takes, it means that will be a input, right? Sorry, that will be a output. So the work done by a cyclist is about 12 joule, and the energy that is used by the cyclist is about 100 joule. So the thing he take is basically a input energy. It's mean this is input energy because that food is taken by a cyclist. It's mean the input. This is input. So this is the input. The work that is performing from this cycle is basically the output, right? And we have to find out the efficiency. So it's a ratio of output by input. So just multiply divide 12 joule by 100 joule, you will get 0.12. And you find the efficiency, you just multiply by 100 and you will get 20%. So this is the efficiency of the cyclist in this case. So the next topic that we have to revise is power. What is power? Power is basically defined as a rate of doing work with respect to some time. And the formula for power is equals to work done with respect to some time. So time will be divided over here. Power is represented by P and work is represented by W and time is represented by T. So if we consider an example, let's say there are two people and they are doing an equal amount of work, but one took 1 hours to complete his work and other took 5 hours to complete his work. And no doubt both men, they are taking a equal, they have done equal amount of work, but where is the difference? There is a difference in their time. There is a difference in the rate at which they are performing a work. Obviously if you see this, one has doing a faster work as compared to the other one, because one completed the work in 1 hour and the other completed in a 5 hours. So one must be a faster. So the difference that is involved regarding time, we say that this will be a power of any body. So power is equals to work by time. As power is a scalar quantity, so sorry, as the work is a scalar quantity, so power is also a scalar quantity. And the unit for power is given in watt, which is represented by some W. And 1 watt will be equal to the power of a body is 1 watt if it does a work of 1 joule at a rate of 1 second, right? So we can say that 1 joule per second will be equal to
1 watt. So there are also bigger units in which we can measure the power, that are 1 kilowatt. Kilo is equal to 1000. So 10 power 3 watt give you 1 kilowatt. 1 megawatt, mega is equals to 10 power 6 watt. And the other bigger unit is horsepower, and horsepower is equal to 1, we represent it with 1 HP, which is equals to 746 watt. So these are the bigger units for power. Now this is the example regarding power, the topic which we have revised in the previous slide. A man takes 80 seconds in lifting a load of 200 Newton through a height of 10 meter, while another man, M2, takes 10 seconds in doing the same job. Find the power of the each. So first of all, we have to write the data. Now in this problem, the two men, they are performing a work, right? So and they are doing the same job. It's mean the force that is applying on the two men is same. The distance they are covering is also the same. So the force given in this example is about F is equals to 200 Newton, and the distance that is equal to height, we can say that it is also equal to 10 meter. So the first one that is taking to perform this work, lifting a load, is basically he's taking, M1 is taking a time 80 seconds, so we represent that M1 with a T1. And the other man, that is M2, he's taking 10 seconds to complete the same task that we have to represent with T2. Now for the power, what we have to do, power is equal to W by T. It's mean first we have to calculate the power of in both cases. So we have known the two times, but the work is unknown. First of all, we have to calculate the work. So all of you know that work is equal to force into distance, right? So just substitute the values. Force is equals to 200 Newton and distance is equals to 10 meter. If you just multiply it, you will get 2000 joules. Now we have to find out the power of M1. So power of M1 is equals to P1 is equals to W by T1, because work will not be W1 or W2, because the work is the same that is performed by both men. So it will be W, right, by T1. So W is equals to, that is we calculated 2000 joule by 80 second, which is equals to 25 joule per second, and 1 joule per second is equals to watt. So this is the power of first man, P1. Second is power of the other man, that is P2 is equals to W by T2, and that is equals to 2000 joule by 10 second. If you calculate it, it will be 1 0 cancel out with this 0, and you will get 200 joule per second, and that is equals to 200 watts. This is the power for other man. So the power for M1 is 25 watts, and that of man M2 is 200 watts. So this is example 6.7. Calculate the power of a pump. We have to calculate the power, right? So in the case of pump, which we can lift 70 kg of water, it's mean the mass is given, that is 70 kg, through a vertical height of 16 meter, and height is given to you, that is 16 meter. This is the height. This distance is basically a height in the 10 second, and time is t is equals to 10 second. Also find the power in horsepower. Now whenever the height is involved, the force is equal to the weight, and W is equals to mg. So W is equals to mg. W, if you find out the W, what we have to do, just substitute the value for mass. Mass is 70 kg and g is 10 meter per second square. Just multiply it, you will get 700 Newton. This is the force in the case of when the powers in the case of pump, which can be lifted through some water in a vertical height. So work done will be equal to W into F into S. So F is equal to weight, which we have calculated, that is equals to 700 Newton, and this distance is also in the form of H, that is equals to 16 meter. So if we just multiply it, we will get 11,200 joule. Now time is known, just use the formula power is equals to W by T. Power W is equals to 11,200 joule, time is 10 second. If you divide it, you will get 1120 joule per second, which is equals to 1120 watts. So now we have to find out the power in a horsepower. What we have to do, we know that 1 horsepower is equals to 746 watt, and we have to find out the power. So what we have to do, we just
we just use the value, this value 1120 watt, we have to divide with horsepower and multiply it with the horsepower. Here we just do not open the value of horsepower, but here we open the value of horsepower, that is equal to 746 watt, because if we cancel out these, there is no effect on this value. So if you just multiply and divide it, you will get 1.5 horsepower. So this is the power of the pump, that is equals to 1.5 horsepower. So class, this is the lecture for today, and if you have any confusion you can ask me, and kindly make sure that you have to do question problem number 6.9 and 6.10 in your notebook. Okay, thank you.